Hello everyone, my name is TheMadScorpyon and welcome to another This Week in Destiny update. Now, just starting off the bat, I'm already working with some new background music, so if it sounds different, louder, or it's just different and you're not used to it, that might be the new norm. We'll see how it goes. But aside from that, getting into This Week in Destiny, I already heard a little bit from my Discord about something that will be exciting, but let's get forward. Now, a matter of exotic class items. This morning we shared some amazing videos showcasing the prismatic subclass coming to final shape. Of course, there is the videos here. I personally haven't watched them, but I imagine they'll give us some feedback. As you can see, you will not only have the new aspects and fragments coming along with prismatic, but you also get to further expand your options with the new exotic class items. These are very special additions to Destiny 2, as each exotic class item will have 2 random exotic perks from a selection of existing exotic armor perks, including some that belong to classes other than yours. To earn them, the exotic class items will be part of a new activity that unlocks after Raid World First at the beginning of Week 2. We don't want to spoil what the activity is or how to unlock it, but we can say it's farmable and you will get a guaranteed random roll each time you complete it. Oh dear, not available for Week 1. I think a lot of people were anticipating that available for World First, but I guess so. That makes sense in a way. How many exotic perks? Similar to how Prismatic has a selection of abilities from light and dark, the exotic class items in the final shape will have a mix of exotic perks available for each class. We included some fan favorites as well as some perks that align with Prismatic abilities and aspects. We also choose to put perks in each column that would compound each other, allowing for combinations that felt powerful and complementary, such as Warlock with Apotheosis Veil and Star Eater Scales. Prismatic is all about combining effects that will be belong to specific subclasses, and we wanted to bring that to the design of exotic class items too. In many cases, we have adjusted the perks not to work with a broader array of abilities. For example, Caliban Explosive Knives on the Hunter Cloak works with all powered melees, not just Proximity Knife. Interesting. To keep things balanced, we have narrowed some of the perk effects to what we believe the spirit of Get It, the original exotic was. This allows the combination of 2 of them to not be overwhelming. It maintains the reason to run the original exotic armor. When a perk on the class item has the same effect as the original version, you expect some tuning changes. For example, the final shape version of the original Armamentarium and 6 Coyote will gain the ability to create orbs of light from your grenade and dodge respectively. Oh, so that actually sounds interesting. So going from the first column, left side, I'm assuming Assassin's Cowl, Heart of Inmost Light, Ophidian Aspects, Dragon Shadow, Charge of Galenor, Foe Tracer, Caliban's Hand, and Renewal. And then again, this is Hunter, so this is going to be a minute. Let's see, Finisher, Empowered Melee, Invisibility. Using ability empowers the other 2, granting them improved regeneration, but not damage. Spirit of the Ophidian is weapons ready quickly. Dragon Shadow will be using your class ability, reloads all weapons, increases handling. Galenor hits with you, and final blows with your super will return super. Okay, so that is broad spectrum. That is going to be a good one. Spirit of the Foe Tracer, of course, that is damaging powerful combatant with an ability grants temporary damage with matching weapons. Caliban power melee triggers ignition period. That's going to be really good on things like combination blow hunters. Spirit of Renewal, allies inside the dust field take reduced damage, and okay, well that will be specific to dust field still, so that might need to be changed. But then in the next column, Star Eater Scales, while your super energy is full, picking up orbs overcharges it, granting bonus damage but nothing else. Syntheseps, improve melee damage when surrounded, but just melee damage, not super. Verity's Brow, weapon final blows grant with a damage type matching a grenade, grant a stacking damage bonus, but not regen. Interesting. Woven Mail when using your grenade period, that's going to be good. Falcons, void weapons grant volatile rounds after you emerge from being invisible. That one's still void. Liar's Handshake, dealing damage with a powered melee or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch. And Wernhusk, dodging gives a small health and shield buff, and Coyote, additional class ability charge. There's going to be a lot of them here, so stick in it. With the Titans, for the first column, we can have finishers and final blows grant invisibility. On Titan? That's going to be weird. Okay, so let's see. In most, as well as Ophidian, I'm just gonna, on the ones that we've seen before, I'm just gonna list them off. Severance Enclosure, powered melee final blows will unleash a damaging explosion. Hoarfrost, your barricade becomes stasis crystals that slow nearby targets when created. Eternal Warrior, give a damage bonus for matching weapons to super element. Abiant Leap, Dringer's Lash buff, track targets more aggressively and travel further, but I don't think they say more. And Spirit of the Bear, which I believe is either a new thing or reworked to Ursa Furiosa, which is what I heard. Move faster while guarding with an unbreakable shield on Void class, I imagine, and damage blocked with the unbreakable is converted to super energy, because it sounds a lot like Ursa Furiosa. Then as well, we have Star Eaters on Titans, Syntheseps, again, Verity, and then Spirit of Contact, damaging a target with a powered melee causes nearby enemies to suffer lightning strikes and become jolted. Spirit of Scars, Precious Scars, final blows of weapon that match your super element, create a burst of healing on all classes. Spirit of the Horn, your barricade unleashes a blast of solar energy, so that's Kepri's Horn. Alpha Loopy, healing pulse when barricading, and Armentarium, additional grenade charge. And for Warlocks, we have, again, Assassins, Inmost Light, Ophidian, and we have the Stag for Rift providing damage reduction to allied guardians in it. Filaments, casting a Rift will grant you Devour. Necrotic, damaging enemies with your melee poisons them. Defeating a poison enemy spreads condition. Osmiomancy, your grenade recharges quicker on hits. The Seeker spawn from Cold Snap grenade travels further. Now that might be nuts. Just across other things. I know it's still buff for cold snaps and stasis, but that still might be just nuts. Temporary gain increased melee regen after your super ends. That could be good for Nova Bomb. And then as well, we have Star Eater, Syntheseps, Verity, then Vesper of Radiance, Rift periodic releases Arc Shockwaves, Harmony, final blows with weapons that match your damage type of your super, grants innate super energy. Starfire for grenades recharge from empowered weapon damage. The empowered weapon grants more energy. Swarm, destroying a tangle spawn thread lanes, and Claw, additional melee charge. Now, all these weapon perks will only work when you have the Prismatic subclass equipped. There you go. That is probably going to be the one drawback. We knew we couldn't fit everyone's favorite perks into these without making the pools available. Rolls are too large. It was a balancing act to support lots of exciting options while also making it reasonable to chase specific combination. However, also making a set of exotic armor balance adjustments with the release of Final Shape, including some buffs that will impact both the original and Spirit version. So some of the class item perk combinations might end up being better than you expected. We'll have more to share about the exotic armor balance in coming weeks. So, just to recap, that is what it sounded like. Yes, exotic class items are only going to be usable on Prismatic, which might be a limiter, but at the same time, there had to be a reason to go back and use the other classes. Not to mention that, how do I say this? If a perk had two parts, it makes sense that the original exotic would have both parts, but then on the class item, it might only be one part, because at that point it has something other one part that combined together and makes it a lot more powerful. So that actually sounds like logical game design, just so that things aren't broken as all hell. Then as well, more lore. We got additions of Oryx the Taken King as well for that Pantheon. Then as well, the deep side. I know I mentioned this in Reset, but basically there is daily red borders that you can purchase from all of the seasonal vendors. Every day from May 7th through June 3rd, players will get a guaranteed deep side weapon drop upon completing of a seasonal activity. So if you still have not unlocked the pattern for, let's say, the Raconteur bow from Season of Defiance, you can complete a Defiant Battleground to receive a deep side drop for that weapon. You'll get another the day after and another day after that one, and so on until you've completed the pattern. Don't worry if you have more than one. If you keep playing, or knockout system will ensure that you only get drops for those weapons. So what activities can you play for each thing? For Season of Defiance, do Avalon and Defiant Battlegrounds. Sea of the Deeps are Deep Dive and Salvage. Season of the Witch are Summoning Pools and Seventh Inspire. And of course, Season of the Wish is Ribbon's Lair in the Coil. So 0 Hour is near. First came Whisper, then was 0 Hour. Then, let's see, coming back May 14th. Let's see. Get the new craftable of Outbreak Prime. Some of the secret chests available each week. Additional perks for it. If you are looking for an exotic catalyst, you have to complete 0 Hour on the legendary difficulty. Remember, if you already have the catalyst on the original version, you won't have to earn it again. That being said, you still want to get it for the weekly triumphs to unlock the new exotic ship. As well, Trevor. Stuff about Trevor. And then, of course, there is more stuff. There is the 3 new maps coming to Destiny, or that came to Destiny already. The early open access. Now, this is what's weird, or this is the kind of crappy thing that, once again, Sony is responsible for. I know you all know the Helldivers thing going on. But right now, everyone has access to Shadowkeep, Beyond Light, and the Witch Queen, as well as all of the seasons from this year, but only PlayStation Plus members, aka PlayStation and Sony people, can claim Lightfall. So, yeah, the most recent stuff, that's only for PlayStation folks to have for free. Now, Shadow Keep and what everything you get. Shadow Keep gets you 13 exotic weapons, 3 armor pieces, Scarlet Keep Nightfall, Pit of Heresy Dungeon, and Garden of Salvation. Beyond Light gives you 12 exotic weapons, 6 armor pieces, Glassway and Proving Grounds Nightfall, as well as the Deepstone Crypt. And once the final shape is live, we'll ask, they missed on the Witch Queen. I guess Witch Queen might be literally everything, though. And once the final shape is live, we also add a new pack called the Destiny 2 Legacy Collection 2024. This pack gives you access to some of the best content it has to offer. Basically, Year 6, Year 5, 30th Anniversary, Year 4, Year 3, and what is left of the Forsaken that you can get. Now, there is another Gauntlet donation thing. Various bonuses if you donate a variety of stuff. So, you know, if you want to do any of these, go ahead and throw donations. Otherwise, support as you wish. And there is more regarding that. Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So if you wish to support or get these pins and bounties, go ahead and claim that for yourself. And then we get into the main player support report. So while all the information directly related to the Brave Weapon quest is now available, making the rounds triumph is not able to be completed yet. Players will be able to directly speak to Shaxx during the last week of Into the Light, in case you want to finish that one. The Risky Archer emote, due to an issue, the Risky Archer emote has been temporarily changed to use a different animation. Once the issue is fixed in a future update, the emote will return to normal. Privacy and player safety update. As mentioned in our recent March 14 TWID, we are continuing with our efforts to ensure player privacy and safety online in Destiny 2. Our goal is to provide age-appropriate experiences to all of our players and give the adults responsible for our younger players a way to tailor those players' experiences. If you haven't already, visit Bungie.net to use the prompt after launching Destiny 2 to update your date of birth if you have not. If you wish to add player or parental controls for those of you with kids playing this game, there is the help article as well as more stuff to do there. For known issues, players are not receiving rewards from one of the secret chests in the Shattered Throne. As well, the Spanish version of Revision Zero's exotic perk description is displaying incorrectly. For a full list of issues, of course, review the known issues article and report anything to the help forum if you encounter anything not said. Ooh, that's cute Archie art. He's got ramen on his head. But yeah, at that point, that is all of the TWID. It was nice and short, aside from the perks. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there is perks and drawbacks to the way they just described exotic class items, which I get. They couldn't just straight up, and this is part of the balancing that I'm seeing with Prismatic. I know a lot of people weren't exactly happy with how little or the variety of options they had initially when they said what is available for Prismatic, but this is actually making sense on a balancing aspect. Now, they're only usable on Prismatic, which makes sense, and at the same time, they will be less powerful versions of the original perks, some perks being removed. That does make sense. Like Bungie said, there will be some damn good combinations. Like, if I look at the Titan, I know I saw, let's see, there is Severance Enclosure for the Titan, which is basically a melee's go boom. And there's also Syntheseps, which that will be potent together. What's the word? Precious Scars and Severance. Precious Scars and Inmost Light, which is basically 2 different perks, healing and damage for speccing out for one element. There's lots of variety here that you can mishmash together that will be good. Now, but that is also a benefit that they are half measure perks that don't make the original exotics irrelevant. That was actually, I feel like, a very good move on Bungie's part, that these exotic class items, while they will be nifty, they will be powerful, they won't override the need for the original exotics, which I feel like is a big worry, is that Prismatic was going to override every other subclass. Same thing. I'm not sure where I was going with that, but that was going to be my main point anyways. With that, my name is TheMadScorpyon. This has been This Week in Destiny, and I thank you for watching.